Hey guys, so today I want to talk about how to get a decent slap tone from your Ken Smith bass or bass in general. Don't have to be a Ken Smith. But specifically, I want to talk about the characteristics of this instrument. This one is a 2017 Black Tiger, one of the very last of the oil rub finishes. The oil rub is really nice because it exposes the pores of the wood and it gives that openness in the sound. But what I'm here today to talk about is how to get a decent slap tone from a bass like this. Because if you look at the pickup placements and the construction, the electronics, all of this kind of stuff that factors into the sound of this instrument, it is a very professional instrument, and it's very intentional behind the characteristics of what this bass could do as far as the tone palette and the sound palette. So what I'll do, I'll set everything at flat. And when I mean flat, I'm talking about right in the middle at 12 o'clock. And on this bass specifically, I have in my EQ, the normal stuff, which is bass, mid, and treble, all that flat. And then I have the pickup selector in the middle. And then I have the volume, the gain, at a healthy level, which is a little bit below the middle. So it's very crucial to have that volume set gain stage at a very healthy level, because you don't want to be clipping in the mix. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and demonstrate everything flat in the EQ. I'll demonstrate the slap tone. So it's a decent slap tone, but it's not optimal. It is not optimal. So what we need to do is we need to start shaping the tone. And something I could recommend is to definitely listen to records of some of your favorite players or some of your favorite bass lines that have slapping in it, and kind of listen to what makes that slap bass sound really nice. But what I'll do, since talking about me and talking about what I like, I'll go ahead and start shaping that sound. So I'm going to talk about the science behind what makes the slap tone great. There's two things that we got to worry about: the technique with my thumb and the technique with my pluck. So there's a correlation between the two. When I'm thumping, I want that to match the kick drum. So if I was to bring the kick drum from a drummer into the mix, I want that to match the kick drum. So the best way to optimize on that is to add in some lows. So what I'll do is I will boost it just a little bit above the middle or the flat level. So here's it go. So it's just a subtle change. It's just a subtle change. And you should hear these subtleties when you're making those adjustments. So I got my boost, I got my bass boost just a little bit above half. So now what I'll do now is, I feel like there's some, not necessarily clashing between the low mids and the bass, because this instrument is engineered to separate and don't cause those kind of issues, right? So, but I just feel like there's a little bit too much presence that's causing my bass to sound, or my bass frequencies to sound a little bit boxy. Usually you get that boxiness from the mid-range. So what I'll do now is I will just dial back all of the mid-range. So I'll cut out all of the mid-range. Now you can hear it. A lot better. Very focused, very to the point, beefy, and it got what I need. All right, let me try the plucking now. So it's good, but it's still quite not there yet. So the highs for the plucking needs some work. it's almost sound like there's a low pass filter, meaning there's no highs in the mix. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to boost the highs all the way up to the maximum potential. And again, at the beginning, we set our gain to a healthy level, so we don't have to worry about anything clipping or sounding harsh in the mix. It's very balanced. So let me go ahead and try that. So as you could tell, without me even judging, is you could tell immediate difference as far as it's more crisp. You're hearing the highs. It's cutting through the mix, but it's balanced. So all in all, the results of this is I have my bass boost above 50%. So let's say 70%. I have no mid-range because I don't want any boxiness in the mix. We don't want no boxes. Then I have my highs boosted around, let's say, 75 to 80%. Or actually, no. I have my highs boosted 100%. Correction, 100% for my highs. So, and then, the pickup selector is in the middle. And then my volume is at a healthy level. So with that simple, adjustment, you're getting... You're getting so much bite out of this bass. This bass is a beast. It's a beast of an instrument. So why not optimize on its qualities and its versatility as far as getting a really good sound out of the instrument. So the other thing I like to talk about really quickly here is technique. When you're playing an instrument like this, it's very microscopic. So what I mean by that is the instrument is very sensitive to your technique. So if you just do that, right? Something, just touch the string lightly, it's gonna pick it up. So your technique has to be on point when playing an instrument like this. So I wanted to bring this and factor this in because don't get hung up only on the electronics when it comes to the instrument. And I think this is in general, not just for a Ken Smith, but in general. Do not get hung up on electronics, because if you get hung up on electronics and you kind of just let the technique be, then you'll wonder why you're not getting a good sound when you touch a bass like this. So always focus on getting a good technique, a good sound from your technique. Make sure it's balanced. And make sure it's even. Make sure it's consistent. Obviously, if you need to accent a note, like you do that kind of stuff, then it's intentional. So always play with intent, always play evenly, consistently, and try to always, think about what you're going after as far as the end result of the sound that you're going after. But for anybody that is, just starting off with this slapping, bass style, I would recommend that you pick some players like Larry Graham, like Louis Johnson, Marcus Miller, and those kind of guys, and listen to them. Even if you can't replicate some of the stuff that they're doing, listen to them and listen to what makes their sound unique as far as the technique goes and as far as just the overall sound of the bass. But in general, from my years of experience and my expertise, a good slap bass sound comes from really nice low end and a cutting high end, but very balanced, and it sits in the mix and complements the other instruments. So if you have a drummer playing, it's not getting in the way of the drummer. It's not getting in the way of the singer. It's not getting in the way of anyone. So keep that in mind when you are sculpting your slap tone. But for now, take care, subscribe, like, and share this video. I'll see you again.